Welcome back here once again, everyone. I remember the days when some of our most beloved adaptations would get made into, either be made into movies or TV series, and you would be so very happy to see something. You would be like, oh, I can't, I want to see this. I want to see this live, whether it be something related to comic books, whether it be something related to a cartoon series, something like that. See it live, and you would be really happy to see it. Those were the days. Not now. Not now. I have said before, I'll say it again. I don't want them to remake, bring back, or anything that has gone. Leave it as is, because if you do that with this kind of climate, it's going to destroy it. Absolutely destroy it. Well, it looks like Conan dodged that bullet in some way or another, but not for the reasons you may think. Because according to this article from Bounding into Comics, new report claims Prime Video abandoned a Conan the Barbarian TV series because of toxic masculinity. And the crap fest begins. Let's see what this says. A new report claims that Prime Video abandoned a Conan the Barbarian TV series due to toxic masculinity. This series was announced by Deadline back in 2018. In the initial announcement, it was revealed that current House of the Dragon showrunner Ryan Condal was behind the series. He was also joined by House of the Dragon showrunner and Game of Thrones director Miguel Sapochnik or something. I'm terrible with names, forgive me. They detail the series will retell Conan's origins as he is driven out of his tribal homelands and wanders the mysterious and treacherous world of civilization, where he searches for purpose in a place that rejects him as a mindless savage. I think there was something similar like that done in a Conan comic series. I could be wrong. I believe something was similar like that was done already. But it sounds like an interesting take. It sounded like an interesting take, I should say. The report also specifically noted that this Conan the Barbarian series would be part of Jeff Bezos and Prime Video's answer to Game of Thrones, with Deadline's Nelly Andreeva writing the project falls into Amazon's push into big fantasy genre drama series with broad appeal in the mold of Game of Thrones. So they abandoned Conan. Sounds like would have been really interested and decided to go with Lord of the Rings, or should I say Board of the Rings, which continues to be worse every week. Way to spend that $1 billion. The Conan the Barbarian series never came to fruition at Amazon, and in 2020, producer Frederick Malenberg moved the project to Netflix, where he's working on both live action and animated adaptations of the character. Normally, when I hear it moving to Netflix, I would have had some hope, but with the way Netflix has been butchering everything it can find lately, I am less than hopeful. A little over a year ago, Malenberg indicated that they had moved forward in the production of the live action series and had begun writing the series. With Conan, I'm happy to say that we are in development, which means we are basically work with a writer and has been, so they're in the middle of working with it and they know what they have to do. Why the series was moved from Amazon to Netflix was never really explained, but a new report from YouTube channel Midnight's Edge claims it was cut from Amazon due to toxic masculinity. I had to find out what this means. First, Midnight's Edge founder Andre Einhard that explains that Amazon didn't just want a Game of Thrones competitor, they wanted to dominate the entire fantasy TV market. He says Bezos wanted something which would enable Amazon to dominate the fantasy market the way Game of Thrones had done for HBO. To make that dominance complete, though, they weren't looking for just one Game of Thrones, but two, one for the family market and one for the more adult market. One that would quite literally capture the exact same market that was engrossed in Game of Thrones. after detailing that the Lord of the Rings was their path to dominating the family market. Well, that failed miserably, didn't it? It details that Conan the Barbarian was their initial property to capture the more adult market. He explained Amazon wanted the Lord of the Rings to capture the family market, but to be their Game of Thrones, to take over the Game of Thrones market, they had something else in mind, mainly Conan the Barbarian. It was the perfect property to fill the same need as Game of Thrones, and they had the perfect showrunner for it. One Ryan Cordell, and the scripts he had written were extremely true to the original Robert E. Howard stories, and according to everyone who read them, amazingly good. Now, keep in mind, Conan is set in the Sumerian age. That's swords, muscles, women in skimpy clothing, this kind of thing. That's what it's there for. It's set in the Sumerian age. This is what was there. This is what you have to expect. So if you're going to do something like that, they have to do it this way, or else let's not bother doing it at all. Then explain how it all went wrong. But when the executives who had commissioned Conan in the first place were replaced with Jennifer Salke or Salk or whoever, she came in to clean up Amazon, both in terms of culture and content. Here we go. He then specifically claims that she canned the show due to toxic masculinity and replaced it with the Wheel of Time. Where others saw the next Game of Thrones in Ryan Condell's Conan scripts, Jennifer saw only toxic masculinity. As such, Ryan Condell was fired, Conan was scrapped, and she picked the Wheel of Time to be Amazon's more adult-oriented Game of Thrones replacement. I've never watched the Wheel of Time. I really have no interest in it whatsoever. I saw the trailer for it. I wasn't impressed. I didn't even bother. Although she made sure to make it even more female-centric than it already was, just to be sure there would be absolutely no toxic masculinity. See, this is what happens when you keep hiring people who don't know what the hell they're doing. First off, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. I said that before, I said again, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. If you belittle women, abuse them, talk down to them, treat them like crap, that's not toxic masculinity. That makes someone an asshole. Real men, real masculine men, treat women with respect, are respectful, are committed, are helpful, are dedicated. That is what it means to be a man. That's what it means to be masculine. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. That's just something people made up to justify the shit that they do. You scrapped that show that was sounding interesting, that could have really, really been something to go with. Instead, because you wanted to put out some female-centric show. I haven't even heard anybody talking about Wheel of Time. I just tell you how boring it really probably is. I don't know. I could be wrong. Like I said, I've never watched it. But you know, if somebody knows differently, want to correct me in the comments, fine. But nah, not for me. I mean, I said this before, I say it again. If you're going to do something, do it correctly. But honestly, if that is the kind of behavior that this woman took with Conan, I think Conan dodged a bullet there. I don't know about it in Netflix. If they decide to do it the way it's supposed to be done and not try to bow to the woke mob, because we saw that happen in the comics in regards to a name of a mythical princess, Princess Mataoka. So they say that you know that name was similar to Pocahontas and all kind of thing. And then the writer came out and was talking about, oh, he was so sorry, he didn't know. And they changed the name, and then he donated his entire check. I mean, come on, you can't just change the name and be done with it. But anytime you bow to these woke weirdos, it's never enough for them. They always have a problem. Their show sounded interesting, but honestly, I think Conan dodged the bullet with this nonsense. Amazon decided to go ahead with their Wheel of Time, which I haven't heard anything about. Again, as I said, I saw the trailer, didn't like it, I moved on. And as for their Board of the Rings, well, that should tell you it was boring as hell, and nobody likes it. That's it. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, so hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, ring the notification bell, be notified every time I put out a new video, and I shall see you all next time. Take care.